A few times a week, Len Brault, owner and founder of Heirloom Coffee, brings Boston-based caffeine enthusiasts together to teach them all about their favorite brew. In these 90-minute seminars, he imparts his knowledge of different beans, flavors, tastes, and brewing methods to attendees and lets them sample some of the rarest coffee from around the globe.
Heirloom Coffee was started in 2005 with the idea that there must be some better coffee out there than what I was able to find. So this was the mission behind the company, to bring these coffees to people. Some of them were in danger of extinction because they weren't in the modern, picture of things or the modern channels. When we bring people's attention to them and sell them, we're doing a lot of good at the source, where they're being grown, and we're helping to keep the coffee genome diverse and keep these options out there for people.
Getting people to understand that there are more coffees in the world in terms of aromas and tastes than you can get at the grocery store or at Dunkin' Donuts or at Starbucks. Mm-hmm. It's not just limited to those types of things.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when people used to come here, and a lot of people that would find us locally would be kind of surprised that they had to order online. When we first started, we were an online business. But we didn't really have the personnel, and we didn't have the zoning to run a coffee shop or a store. And that's not really our mission anyway. We wanted to bring the coffee not just locally to those few people that understood what we were talking about, but we really needed a bigger audience nationwide, because it's a small percentage type of coffee. So, but when people kept finding us and saying, "You're only a mile from me, why do I have to order it online? Can't I just come in and look at the coffee?" And then they would come in, and what would happen is that we would have them try coffees, and we'd say, "Well, you can make an espresso out of it. Here, let's put it on this machine, and we'll grind it this way and all that." And I'd start talking about the coffees, and everybody was like, "Wow, I never knew there was so much to know about coffee. I didn't know there were 4 species. I didn't know that the type of species isn't what makes a coffee good or bad, it's how it's grown. Some species are usually grown badly, that's why they have a bad reputation." And so people started saying that, you go over there, you get your coffee, it's the information that's really special about it, because you learn why you like a particular thing, and you learn about it, and you know how to appreciate it, and now you know how to find it, more of it.
Definitely found that I like Robusta, and it explains why I have to have cream and sugar in my coffees. Because I can drink the Robusta black, and I like it.
Yeah.
So, that was an eye-opener.
I began to think of, what do we have to offer besides just coffee, by the pound? And in talking with a lot of the marketing people from services like Buy With Me and Groupon, they said, well, what you have to offer is that information. Why don't you do a seminar? It was really their idea. And then all of a sudden it was like, I could do a seminar, and all these people who say, I love to come here and hear you talk, well, they can come here and I can give them a more or less comprehensive thing from A to B, and make it reasonably short, and tell them about the species of coffee, why people have different palates, why some things are good, some things aren't, and then have them try some of the most special coffees in the world and see for themselves what they've been missing, because we have, all across America, we serve only 1 species of coffee, and we tend to brew it only 1 or 2 different ways. So, and there's a big wide world out there, millions of people drinking coffee other ways and other kinds of coffees. And so that's really an information presentation. It's not making it available, but telling people about it. So should we kind of institutionalize as a new business activity having seminars 5 days a week? Should I train another person to give certain seminars? Yeah, probably. That's what we're going to do. Because there's a lot of people who want that iced coffee, cold brewed iced coffee seminar in the summer. They want the gourmet tea seminar, this sort of thing. So I see us having 5 seminars and running them probably 300 days a year.
Well, he admits it, but Len's a guy who enjoys a very, very good cup of coffee, and I think that at the basic level, all we're trying to do is find other people who like a really good cup of coffee and introduce them to something new.